Okay, let's talk about bone broth for cats. You've probably seen it everywhere. It's one of the biggest trends in pet health right now. But what's the real story? Is it just a fancy fad, or is it actually something vital for your cat's well being? Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're digging into the real science, the benefits, and some hidden dangers that you absolutely need to be aware of.
So let me start by asking you this. Is your cat secretly dehydrated? And chances are, the answer is probably yes. And you know what? It's not really their fault. Cats originally evolved as desert animals, and they got most of the water they needed directly from their prey. The result is that they have a naturally low thirst drive, which in our modern homes doesn't really work in their favor. And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. Think about a cat's natural diet, like a mouse. It's made of about 70 to 80% water. Now look at the dry kibble most of our cats are eating. The moisture content? 6 to 10%. That is a huge, huge difference. It creates what we call a moisture gap, and it leaves so many cats in a constant state of low-level dehydration.
And please, don't think this is a minor thing. It's not. That moisture gap can lead to a silent health crisis. This kind of chronic dehydration is a major factor in some of the most serious and common health problems in cats. We're talking chronic kidney disease, incredibly painful urinary crystals, and cystitis. The stakes here are just incredibly high.
So what can we do about it? Well, this is where bone broth comes in. A lot of vets and nutritionists even call it liquid gold. So let's actually dig into the science and see why this simple liquid can be such a powerhouse.
The real magic of bone broth really comes down to one key ingredient, gelatin. So gelatin is this amazing protein that gets created when you slowly simmer animal bones and connective tissues. That slow cooking process breaks down the collagen and releases this incredible payload of helpful amino acids like glycine and proline that are super easy for your cat's body to absorb and use.
So what does all that actually do for your cat? Well, the benefits really fall into three main buckets. First up, those amino acids are fantastic for supporting their gut health and keeping their joints in good shape. Second, that rich, meaty flavor actively encourages them to drink more, which is a huge win for hydration. And third, it provides the building blocks for something called glutathione, the body's master antioxidant, which gives their liver a helping hand in detoxification.
But, and this is a big but, not all bone broths are created equal. Not even close. When we looked at how to evaluate them, one thing stood out big time: purity and safety. That's weighted at 40%. It's by far the most important factor, and trust me, there is a very, very good reason for that. And that brings us right to the scary part, the hidden dangers. Because bone broth is so popular now, the market is flooded, and you have to be so careful about which one you choose. Okay, if you take away only one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Never, ever, under any circumstances, give your cat bone broth that was made for humans. It can be incredibly dangerous. Let's break down exactly why. Human broths are a total minefield of stuff that's bad for cats. The top three dangers? First, onions and garlic, which are straight up poisonous to them. Second, dangerously high levels of salt that their little kidneys just cannot handle. And third, a whole list of other weird additives and preservatives that their bodies just aren't built to process. Let's zoom in on that onion and garlic thing for a second, because this is really serious. It's called allium toxicity. When a cat eats these compounds, it causes something called oxidative damage to their red blood cells. Little bits of damage called Heinz bodies form on the cells. And then those damaged cells actually rupture, which leads to a severe, life-threatening type of anemia. And the scariest part? Even a tiny amount, like the onion powder found in many broths, can be enough to kick off this whole devastating process. Okay, I know, that was the really scary part. But now that we know what to run away from, let's talk about what to run towards. How do you find a broth that's both safe and effective? Let's decode some of the top brands out there right now. Think of this as a quick guide to find the perfect match for your specific cat. For just great all-around wellness, Open Farm is a fantastic, ethically sourced choice. If your cat needs extra kidney support or hydration, Karoo Classics is a go-to. If you're looking for great value and something you can store forever, Native Pets powder formula is super smart. Got a cat with food allergies? Green Juju has you covered with novel proteins like bison. And what about that super picky eater? Well, Made by Nacho is often the secret weapon that finally gets them interested. All right, knowing the brands is half the battle. But getting your cat to actually drink the stuff, that can be a whole other challenge. So now let's get into some absolutely brilliant,
Practical tips sourced directly from experienced cat owners in the trenches.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You can buy the best, most nutrient-packed, ethically made broth on the planet, but it does absolutely zero good if your cat just sniffs it and walks away. For cats, getting them to accept something new is almost entirely driven by one thing: the smell. Aroma is everything. So, what's the secret to making it completely irresistible? It's the temperature trick. This right here is the magic number. You never want to serve broth cold, straight out of the fridge. Gently warming it up to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 Celsius is perfect because it mimics the body temperature of fresh prey. This unlocks that rich, meaty aroma that cats are biologically hardwired to go crazy for. And here is the community's absolute favorite tip for convenience and for preventing waste: the ice cube hack. Most of these liquid broths go bad within a week after you open them. So to avoid throwing your money away, as soon as you open a new carton, pour it into an ice cube tray and just freeze it. Then you can pop out and thaw one single cube at a time. It extends the life of that one carton for months. It's genius. And hey, one last quick pro tip for you. Don't get stuck on just one flavor. Just like us, cats can get bored with eating the same thing every single day. Rotating between different proteins, like chicken, beef, or turkey, not only keeps things exciting for them, but it also gives them a wider range of amino acids for better overall nutrition. So we've gone through the science, the real dangers, and the pro tips. It all kind of boils down to this, doesn't it? When you think about their long-term health and happiness, could a simple splash of the right kind of broth today be the key to protecting your cat's future?